Turkmenistan trilateral leaders summit will be held, and we will be departing soon. After all the initial work has been complete by foreign ministers, we are now this way starting a new form of cooperation with Azerbaijan, with which we have uh, and with Turkmenistan, with which we have common ties, history, and culture. We're further improving our relations. It's obvious that we need to further cooperate in our relations and activities to expand the scope of our relations. We are taking into account the current regional and global matters into account, and Abaza Summit is the newest and the most concrete example of that. Energy, transportation, and trade will be of the main items which will occupy our agenda at the summit. And we will this way further strengthen the grounds of our relations, and for that end, we will be signing various agreements. This way, energy, transportation, trade, economy, customs, education, science, and culture uh, relevant authorities will have been supported in terms of effective cooperation. In our talks in Abaza, we will be exchanging opinions as regards regional and global matters, and our goal is not to work for only the peoples of the three countries, but all sisterly Turkic states and countries of the region, and build a safer region for the world. And it is of our goals to further improve multilateral relations and cooperation, and I believe that the decisions we shall make at the summit will be contributing to that. We need to work more, increase the level of our solidarity, reinforce our brotherhood to make sure that the 21st century is the century of the Turkic world. Distinguished friends, while taking steps to create a belt of welfare and safety and security, we, on the other hand, at every chance, make our citizens feel the power and ability of our country in terms of natural disaster management and also recovery from natural disasters. Turkey has been an exemplary country in the world, and the most recent Düzce earthquake, just like we did not make our citizens feel the need to ask where the state authorities were in Tunja, Finike, floods, and all other natural disasters. We have mobilized all our resources for our people. From the first moments of incidents, both a response and also optimization activities took start immediately. The ministers of Interior Affairs, Agriculture, Forestry, and all relevant ministers immediately visited the region in agricultural areas and greenhouses of a totally 13.2 thousand acres. There has been damage and loss adjustment and cleaning activities are still ongoing with the coordination of AFAD. Relevant authorities, NGOs, and volunteers are working. More than 1,800 staff and more than 395 machinery are operating in Finike, Kumluca, and Demre districts where the flood was effective. A decision was issued to declare it as a region of natural disaster, and the social security and tax debts have been deferred from AFAD 20 million initially, and from the cooperative unions of small shop owners 50 million, from TOBB 30 million, From the Ministry of Family and Social Services, 2.5 million lira has been allocated, which makes it more than around 100 million, and this was sent to the region. And for Rum Koskep, for all shop owners, up to 250,000 lira, emergency credit lines have been opened, to which there will be no interests applied. Our state authorities will continue to be with all victims of the natural disaster with all the means and opportunities we have at hand. I once again, using this opportunity, wish a quick recovery to the region, and may God protect us, I would like to say. And Turkey, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, a trilateral meeting hopefully will be auspicious for our region. I would like to greet you all one more time with respect. Thank you very much. The floor is yours. Ecem Toprak is my name, Mr. President. The areas of cooperation in the Turkic world has been expanding, and tomorrow a critical summit will take place. The leaders of Turkmenistan, Turkey, and Azerbaijan will meet. Many matters come to the foreground. However, energy is one of the most important. And in terms of transmission of Turkmen gas and also delivery of it to the world markets, there have been discussions that Turkey can be an alternative route. How has been the most recent stage of these developments, Mr. President? Thank you. We talked about that with Mr. President Ahmedov in Turkmenistan, and I saw his sensitivity. And this Abaza summit will mainly be geared towards taking the steps necessary for the supply and transmission of natural gas. My Minister of Energy and Natural Resources will also be with us at this summit, and we will have talks. And of course, on the other hand, we have Mr. Ilham Aliyev on this process, and this is of importance. So we will be addressing all of these matters from a trilateral perspective, and I hope from over the Caspian Sea we will be able to bring the Turkmen gas to our country. From TVNet TV, I am Haluk Akkaya. Mr. President, you have been giving messages as regards cross-border operations, and you had a phone conversation with the Russian President Vladimir Putin, and you said that it is of importance and a priority to clear up to a depth of at least 30 kilometers along the border. How would you like to comment on that, Mr. President? Thank you. Dear friends, as I reiterated many times before, I would like to state one more time, there cannot be a date for it, but at a Tochi consensus, with Tochi consensus, there are goals we set, and I reminded these to Mr. Putin. I reminded these again, and our aim from our border to down to the south, we have a goal for at least 30 kilometers to keep the area clean. But this region, unfortunately, is under the threats of terrorists very frequently, and most recently this has been on the rise. And it is not possible for us to keep silent in the face of all of that. Just like the steps we did in Klalak in the north of Syria from time to time in the face of the attacks made into our soil. We cannot possibly remain silent, and we do make the warning and remind of that. And with our ally Russia, in terms of joint decision making and maybe actions, we have asked for support because we can never compromise on that. Because my country is under the threat of terror, and we will, of course, not ask for permission from anyone when we are faced with threats of terror. Mr. President, there has been certain work ongoing for all those who are not being able to retire because of age limits. And has there been a final decision about that? What will be the scope and framework of that? And you have made it to here to the airport from your talk with the leader of MHP, Mr. Bahçeli. Has there been any talks as regards the constitution? Dear friends, about those who are limited by age for retirement, we will be finalizing all matters by the end of the month, and all relevant ministers are continuing with the relevant work, and by the end of the month we will have made our decision, and we will make it to 2023 by removing this matter off of our table. And as a People's Alliance with Mr. Bahçeli, of course, we have addressed many matters in detail, and there is one fact. The votes for both parties will not be sufficient for constitutional amendment in the parliament. So as regards headscarves and family-related matters, when it comes to constitutional amendments, all the other parties in the parliament are supposed to support the process, and it will be easier for us if they can. So I hope that we continue working with the People's Alliance in this regard, and we hope that the other parties in the parliament will also give their support so that we have the sufficient number to continue with the constitutional amendments required, and this way we will then be able to amend the constitution. Thank you very much. Stay in health.